in desert of red. Sand of ruby diamonds sparkled under his feet. Rain by the Cult started playing.
Oh my God.
Music rocking from black desert sky. He stumbled forward into red wasteland. Sand blistering feet like newly cooked lasagna. He stumbled into a pyramid. Joaquin Phoenix followed path of flickering torches and came to great chamber with paintings on walls. Paintings of Garfield and scenes of heroism. One painting was of Garfield battling mechanical menace in deepness of space. Other painting was of Garfield saving lovely princesses from evil princes. Another painting showed Garfield saving Christmas from forces of darkness, and others still showed Garfield delivering justice to Nazis and redcoats in name of America. At center of chamber was a great sarcophagus, shaped like manly figure with chiseled muscles. Sarcophagus that opened and light streamed out like Diamond River. Rooms spiraled around and Joaquin Phoenix fell to ground like bowling pin. He looked up, saw sarcophagus glow like scarlet sun. Inside was world of cleansing flame. It was fire that ended and gave life. It was fire of Phoenix. I am Phoenix, and I will be reborn. Oof.
Yeah, you still got more.
I didn't realize it was this long. Joaquin Phoenix leaped into flaming fire. Joaquin Phoenix opened his eyes and stared at funhouse mirror at ceiling, but reflection was straight and pristine like badger, fresh from morning breakfast. His bed was swamp of cold sweat, but his heart was dry with purpose. He stood up with bare feet, marched to bathroom made of marble. In bathroom, he stared at mirror and scoffed with mockery at face, then stared back. He clenched fists and smashed it into the mirror, shattering into shards that soared to ground like crystal birds. He took one large shard, with clenched fist, blood dripping from palm. He stared into cracked remains of mirror, took shard to face, and slashed at it with determination and ferocity. He slashed his feeble face until he saw a mirror resemblance to chiseled face of masculine perfection that was Garfield. He then took off cotton shirt that was wet with sweat and dirty with guilt to reveal pathetic, flabby stomach. Joaquin Phoenix scowled with scorn and took glass in hand. He slashed at stomach and patterned to imitate Garfield's stone-cold six-pack. Joaquin Phoenix then took can of orange paint hidden under sink and dumped it on bleeding body. He smeared orange paint all over self, mixing with fresh and drying blood. He put finger covered in paint and blood in mouth and sucked like baby seal on pacifier of ice. He flexed an admired body dripping in orange and red. He then heard phone ring from bedroom and returned drops of red and orange following footsteps. He picked up phone with sternness. All fear was gone and dead to dust.
Joaquin Phoenix, this is your agent. You must go to Jay Leno, Funny Man TV show host, for interview.
Joaquin Phoenix is dead. Garfield killed him. He then smashed phone on table with mighty crunch. Time to put Leno in kennel. He went to bedroom and reached under bed to take out case, encased with special cap gun of gleaming silver. My trusty Desert Eagle, you never failed me. Let us cook some Leno to feed to dogs in hell. Joaquin Phoenix drove to Leno Studios in orange Corolla that needed gas. He parked front and walked in with determined feet. In studio was Jay Leno by desk, sitting on chair, and studio audience sitting in audience chairs for viewing pleasure. In audience was sweaty fat man, who tired of the weight and felt world's burden on his shoulder as he watched the funny man Leno's stupid face. Audience gasped with shock as Joaquin Phoenix stumbled in like drunk bumbler, droplets of drying blood and orange paint sputtering to floor and crusty globs. He wore brown cotton pants with turtle shell codpiece. Other guests sitting on couch were Margaret Robbie, celebrity, Scarlett Johansson, celebrity, and Jennifer Lawrence, celebrity. They sat wearing sexy dresses, and everyone enjoyed. Joaquin Phoenix strode like loping leopard to couch, with eyes like frozen steel, and sat nearest to Jay Leno, who put on his funny man face. The sweaty fat man in back row was filled with confusion. His stomach rolled with contempt, and sweaty fat face twisted in scowl.
You're looking unusual today, Joaquin Phoenix. Did you cut yourself checking oven?
Joked Jay Leno with joke that could only make idiot or madman laugh. Audience sat in silence, and sweaty fat man bit lip in disgust. Joaquin Phoenix is dead. I killed him, for I am mighty Garfield. His stare stabbed into Jay Leno's empty eyes like spear. Jay Leno looked at audience with uncomfortable eyes and laughed with fakery.
Oh, you are the kidder. If you are Garfield, I am handsome roast beef.
Said Jay Leno with funny man words. Ladies on couch chuckled, but Joaquin Phoenix sat like Sphinx, silent and proud. Finally, after eons that felt like days, Joaquin Phoenix's lips moved like wet worms, and words oozed out like pus. You speak language of fools, understood by kings and jackals. Jay Leno shook his head with confusion and grinned stupid grin. He made funny noises in effort to make humor. A king is jackal with a man's head. Jay Leno said nothing, but put on a funny face to try to lighten mood. He stuck out tongue and pouted cheeks. The sweaty fat man looked on in disgusted rage. The sweaty drops poured out of his face. Joaquin Phoenix looked to audience and saw the sweaty fat man. Their eyes locked like lasers, and Joaquin Phoenix stared into fat, sweaty drops that poured from the sweaty fat man like waterfall. He saw that each sweaty drop contained a universe of its own, and saw in each universe a trillion souls screamed. Joaquin Phoenix turned back to Jay Leno and saw his head was now Pig's head. The pig-head man laughed with lusty squeals, and the lobster crawled out of snout and jumped into a pot of boiling water that sat on floor by his feet. Joaquin Phoenix then turned to celebrity ladies who sat next to him. He saw they were 3 heads attached to one body, and heads talked and laughed. Their necks were tentacles that coiled and wrapped and embraced scaly skin, rubbing against one another, making scraping noises. Enough! I will take sexy ladies with me. We will make hard-style love-making.
What nonsense are you speaking?
Joaquin Phoenix saw that his pig head was now split open down center, and Mantis sat on top, picking at and eating brain with sickles. Still, he laughed and squealed. I am taking ladies. We will eat lasagna and make lovings like powerful titans. Joaquin saw the Scarlett Johansson head and Jennifer Lawrence head sharing luscious green apple in their jaws, chomping and chewing and licking, their tongues wrapped around apple in each other. The Margaret Robbie head laid on satin pillow, dreaming nightmares that he could not stop seeing. Joaquin Phoenix pulled out cap gun and pointed it at Jay Leno. Do not interfere with my plans. Joaquin Phoenix screeched like unwise owl. He snatched Lady Creature by the arm and dragged it with him out to Orange Corolla. Lady heads hissed and laughed as they were dragged into Corolla. I will show you the majesty of my love palace. Joaquin Phoenix sad with hysteria. Sexy Lady Beast screeched and hissed with sultry sexuality. Joaquin Phoenix thrust key with power into car to command it into action. It did not move, but Joaquin Phoenix heard voice purr from engine.
Joaquin Phoenix, where would you like to be going? I would recommend beach,
said Orange Corolla in gentle purring voice like kitten, massaged by feather. No, go home.
I think we should go to beach.
Yes, let us go to beach,
chimed in Jennifer Lawrence. No, go to home.
You will regret this decision.
Orange Corolla drove them through the city that seemed to melt and burn. Sky was black with fire that made Joaquin Phoenix sweat like schoolboy locked in coffin. His car purred and moaned like cat in love. Finally, they reached house, which now looked 40 stories tall, and was grand palace fit for real man. Joaquin Phoenix stepped with feet and moved like man who walked like professional. He took ladies into grand palace filled with gold and lasagna. Halls twisted and turned, and ceilings were high as sky. Rivers of lasagna flowed through halls, and lasagna waterfalls fell from guided walls. Joaquin Phoenix laid Lady Beast into main hall, chest puffed and head high like kite. At center of main room was a massive bed shaped like male symbol, and at head of bed on marble pedestal was a giant statue of the man Garfield in post of manly splendor. Fist clenched, justice oozing through fingers like sea slug. Joaquin's eyes teared at sight of manly statue, and he knelt on one knee. I am you! I am Garfield! Joaquin cried to heavens with voice trembling with ghost of dying hope. I thought Joaquin had a smaller part. Then suddenly statue trembled and shook. It cracked and crumbled, and gray shattering to reveal manly orange. Garfield flexed mighty muscles, and statue bits exploded off like stars bursting from planets. Garfield stepped off pedestal and went on floor. Joaquin Phoenix looked up in awe. He saw that his palace was no longer palace of gold and lasagna, but again filthy home of viceful deceit. He saw that three-headed lady monster was now again sexy actresses of beauty who looked with eyes like lustful saucers at Garfield, and bed of manly majesty was again barren mattress stained with regret. But I am you! I am Garfield! Garfield shook mighty head that was like sun shaking moon. But I didn't all. I have ladies and lasagna. Look at my majesty. Garfield's eyes burned and glowed of manly knowledge, and he shook mighty head again.
The measure of man is not ladies he loves or lasagna he eats, but justice he dispenses. Remember this as your soul explodes to hell.
I see now. Joaquin Phoenix said, eyes filled with tears that cried tears of their own. Garfield stared into Joaquin Phoenix's watery eyes, and his eyes burned with fire hotter than lasagna's sun. The eye fire seared into Joaquin Phoenix's soul, and it exploded like Thanksgiving Day fireworks. The last thing Joaquin Phoenix's eyes saw was Garfield making love like tractor-trailer to hot, sexy actresses on his bed. He saw Garfield drive his man might into waiting ladies like golf cart being driven into sand, with roughness and with his sexuality. Joaquin Phoenix saw Garfield pleasure ladies, and he smiled and gave thumbs up as his soul exploded into fiery oblivion. The end? Quick author's note. If Joaquin Phoenix is reading this and wants to make a movie out of my story, that would be okay. Quick author's note number 2. If Jennifer Lawrence, Margaret Robbie, and Scarlett Johansson are reading this and would like to date me, that would be okay. Author's note number 3. If Jay Leno is reading this and would like to invite me on his show, that would be okay.
This has been a transmission of the Podfix Network. For more about this show and other great Podfix programs, go to podfixnetwork.com.